Hey everybody, my name is Jim, and welcome back to episode 6 of The Takeaway. Well, you've probably heard by now from your parents that in a few months after Christmas, I'm going to go back into the Navy and be a pastor. There are many people in the Navy that have never heard of the things that we've been talking about over the past several weeks on The Takeaway. And though I'm going to be really sad to leave City Church, I'm excited that God is calling my family and I to share the good news of Jesus to people who are in the military. Now, you probably know that I used to be in the Navy way back before I became a pastor. And when I was in, I would go out to sea on submarines as well as on aircraft carriers. And most of the time, the seas, they were pretty calm. And the submarines and the ships I was on, they didn't rock too much. But sometimes we would be stuck in a storm and our ship would pitch and roll and I would feel super sick. Even professional sailors who had spent years and years out on the ocean would sometimes get nervous about a storm that they might find themselves in. And this reminds me of a story in the Bible about people on a boat in the middle of a storm. It comes from Mark chapter 4. And in this story, we read about Jesus' friends, the disciples. Let's read and see what happens. When evening came, Jesus said to his disciples, "Let's go over to the other side of the lake." They left the crowd behind, and they took him along in a boat, just as he was. And there were also other boats with him. A wild storm came up. Waves crashed over the boat. It was about to sink. Jesus was in the back, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples woke him up. They said, "Teacher, don't you care if we drowned?" He got up and ordered the wind to stop. He said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. He said to his disciples, "Why are you so afraid? Don't you have any faith at all yet?" They were terrified, and they asked each other, "Who is this, that even the wind and the waves obey him?" What an incredible story. Many of Jesus' disciples had spent so much of their life out on boats because they were professional fishermen. So this storm, it must have been really bad to get them so nervous. And then we see Jesus. What's he doing? Taking a nap. He's not worried at all. He looks so peaceful that his friends cried out in a panic to him, "Jesus, wake up, don't you care about us?" Now let's talk about that question for a minute. Do you believe Jesus cared about his friends? Of course he did. He woke up and he calmed the storm, which is absolutely amazing, by the way. But even more amazing is that Jesus loved his friends so much that he went to the cross to die for them, didn't he? What about you? Does Jesus care about you? Of course he does. When Jesus died on the cross, he died for you too. The Bible tells us that Jesus calls us friends. We are a part of God's family if we believe that Jesus loves us and died for us. And Jesus wasn't just some nice teacher who loved his friends and died for them. No way. Jesus calmed the storm by simply talking to it, by the power of his words. And the Bible tells us that only God can control creation by speaking. So what's the answer to the disciples' question of who is Jesus? Well, Jesus is God, and the evidence of that is right here in our story. We can rest secure in Jesus' power and love. Even if we find ourselves in the midst of a powerful storm, we're safe because God is even more powerful than powerful storms, and he loves us and is with us. Now, I'm really excited to have Ethan Woodfin on the takeaway this week. Let's join him now as he gives us a tour of his epic Lego collection.
Hi, I'm Ethan Woodfin, and I love Star Wars. Here are all of my Star Wars Lego sets, except for this one. This one is Marvel. This Lego set is my latest Lego set. You can open up the flaps to put soldiers inside. And the set over here is my biggest Lego set, the Millennium Falcon. This over here is Slave 1. This is the ATST. This is an ATRT Walker Transport. And this is a Soldier Transport. And up here we have a Jedi Starfighter, a train, a bomber, an attack carrier, and Kylo Ren's shuttle. Also, right here, we have Lego people from the year 2000. I like building Star Wars Legos because it is fun and creative. Thank you for letting me show you all my Legos.
Thanks, Ethan. I used to love building Legos when I was younger, and I hope it's something my kids will enjoy when they get older too. I also really love Star Wars, so that collection you showed us was really interesting. The cool thing about Legos is that you get to design and build things, and it really takes me back to our Bible story. Jesus can control the storm because he is God, and God created and designed everything. And so when you're worried or anxious or afraid, whether it's during a powerful storm with thunder and lightning, or because of anything else in life, you remember that Jesus cares about his friends, so much so that he died for them, and he died for you because you are Jesus' friend. And you can rest secure in that. And that is this week's takeaway. See you next week.